I have no problem calling out other people's shadows because I'll tell my shadow. And that's the beautiful thing of this work is that when you own it, no one can hold that against you because you own it. And that's the whole process, taking the hidden, unconscious aspects of yourself, your shadow self, and consciously becoming aware so you can grow as a person, you can self-accept, and you can improve your relationship.
Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon.
Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets, hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing? Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about shadow work. Oh my gosh, I love shadow work. My favorite work ever. I love inner child work, inner trauma, inner child work, and shadow work. Actually, shadow work's probably my fucking favorite because I have no problem knowing I have a dark side. It's like the people are split, right? They show you who they are in the front, and in the back is the shadow side. So I loved doing shadow work. I started shadow work almost like 18 years ago, 16, 18 years ago, and I trained in shadow work. I just love it because I think it's so relieving to go, yes, here's the darkness, here's the bad thoughts, here's the things that I'm not proud of, here's the resentments, here's the stuff I'm holding on to, here's like the darkest thoughts I have, and I have some place to put them now, and they're not just back there acting like they don't exist. And so many people on this planet think they can't have that darkness. We have that darkness as humans so that then there's such a yin and yang with the lightness. And then when you are healthy and you can say, yeah, I've been jealous. Yeah, I'm envious. Yeah, I can act like have narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, I can tell lies. All those things that you're able to say out loud, it's like it relieves you of the bondage of self. I mean, that's why they do it in the 12-step program. You know, I've been in 16 years in sex and love addiction, and my favorite step that had relieved me of the bondage of self was definitely step 6 and 7. And I love that book. I wrote about it in my book is Drop the Rock. It's about step 7. Your character defects, releasing them, letting them not run you anymore. And character defects is shadow work. It's like, that's the basis of it, is shadow work. Here's all the shit I don't want you to know that characters is about me, and I'm going to tell the world about them. So that's why I even wrote about shadow work. I didn't call it shadow work in my book because that's fucking stupid in a fiction book. But it's like, I put in there, here's all the darkness. Here's all the shitty things I've done. Here is the top 10, top 5 character defects that I carry. So I love shadow work. It's my favorite thing, even doing the character defects list with my clients. And my clients love shadow work. That's one of the main things I even do when I first get on with people is shadow work. I immediately start doing shadow. I start picking out their shadow. I start pointing out their shadow going, oh, you're a liar. Oh, you're a pathological liar. Oh, you're a cheat. Oh, you do this. Oh, you're envious. Oh, you're a narcissist. Oh, you do, like I will legit immediately start calling out their shadow going, oh, you're inauthentic. Oh, and I'll say, you're blunt like me. And I'll usually even say, hey, you are a liar. I used to be a liar. Yeah, but you want to act like you don't lie when I'm catching you in a lie. And it's just like, bitch, you got a shadow. Okay. So if you're not willing to see your darkness and other people can see it, that's where people, I have this one client, she's younger and she legit, I'd be like, oh, do you have those dark thoughts? And she'd be like, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we all do. And I said, are you thinking this when your partner's doing this? And she's like, oh yeah, I am thinking that. Like, for example, she's like, when he acts like needy, she gets icked out, right? So that's like, she gets like grossed out by it. So that's the shadow, not allowing someone else to have emotions, right? And to hold that space for your partner. And I said, girl, that's your shadow work. You have all these things like low self-esteem, looking at emotions as weakness, all that is shadow work. So I started her immediately, like on the first session almost. And at first she was really repelled by it because I had this idea, like, what if I put a clipboard on everybody and it said like the worst things they've done, the character defects they have? Would you wear your clipboard? I feel like everybody in the world should have a clipboard and it should say, I'm a cheat, I'm a liar, I'm a love addict, I get jealous, I try to be right, I'm self-righteous. Like if that was your clipboard, right? Would you wear it around proud? I fucking would, because I have no problem saying, I have these thoughts. If you come for me, I'll come for you back. You know, like I am a person that has no problem living and showing my darkness and saying, I am there for people and I will give to people. But if you take advantage, I will tell you you're wrong. I have no problem holding that line. And I'm really proud of that because I can hold my darkness and my lightness. I can give, and be empathetic and have no judgment and say, hey, I'll help you become a better person. But if we get to like 9 months or 8 months of working together and you haven't changed and you haven't done any fucking work and you're barely moving the needle, I will call your ass out and I will say, dude, you're a liar. Nothing has changed. You haven't done anything. I have no problem calling out other people's shadows because I'll tell my shadow. And that's the beautiful thing of this work is that when you own it, no one can hold that against you because you own it. And that's the whole process, taking the hidden, unconscious aspects of yourself, your shadow self, and consciously becoming aware so you can grow as a person, you can self-accept, and you can improve your relationships. And if you would have known me 20 years ago, I was an asshole. And now everybody in my life feels seen, heard, communicated. I'm not an asshole to them. I will show up and give. I will be authentic. And there is an equal relationship. I'm not taking needy bitch from people. That people out there are like, want to give me because I'm so empty. I'm not empty, so I don't take anything from anybody. I don't need anything from anybody. I am friends with people and have people in my life because I love them. And they show up for me and I show up for them. And it's equal relationships. And I'm not a vampire energy sucker anymore because I'm so empty that I need attention and validation from other people. And doing the shadow work, Carl Jung, why he coined it is because acknowledging the negative traits, the underdeveloped, characteristics, the repressed memories that created them helps you to let go of them, release them, even go, okay, I understand that. And then when I want to act out in them, I go, yeah, I'm not going to pop off on that person because they're sick. They're sick people. They can't help it. I can see their sickness. So if they're acting like they're the victims, let them and just say goodbye. Go bye-bye. I don't need you. And that's the beautiful thing of shadow work is like, you can say goodbye. You can say, you do this, you cross this boundary, goodbye. And I have no anger about it. It's like, I got you. You don't want to heal. You don't want to look at the shadow. You don't want to look at your behaviors. You don't want to unlock your own creativity and lead to a more balanced and authentic life. Goodbye. So that's the amazing thing is I can accept me and my darkness and I can accept others in their darkness, but then I can say, I don't need it. If you don't want to clean it up, if you don't want to look at it, if you don't want to take accountability, if you want to play a victim, do you, boo? 2 + 2 = 5. Do you? So that's how this beautiful work, that I can let it go and let go of any hidden aspects of myself. And that's the amazing thing. No one has anything on me. It's all out there in the open. I've said my shadow. I've written the Huff posts. I've written the articles in Glamour. I've done all those things. So I don't have to hide in the shadows. Nothing is a lie. And I literally don't have to repress anything, don't have to hide from myself, don't have to hide from others. And it's such a beautiful feeling. So if you haven't done full shadow work, please do it, because we have positive and negative aspects about ourselves. And it's worth looking at, because then you can work on changing those negatives and turning them to assets. Like, I can be impatient. And I know I am, because I'm afraid something's not going to happen. So I like rush and want to impatiently do it. And now, after this work, I let things unfold. I let things flow. I can pause more. I don't have to keep driving and putting and producing. I can pause and go, it's going to unfold in the time it's supposed to. So I have more self-awareness, more personal growth. And my clients are too. I mean, right now, like, I would say 30 of my clients have done such amazing shadow work and doing so good in their life, and to watch them grow. And there's like a couple, 2 or 3 that are barely moving. And I keep pushing them. Okay, this part's taking over. You need to be more self-aware. You need to start engaging and looking at this part of you, because you're denying that this is running your life. So let's even do some prompts. So prompts I give my clients. Number 1, what is the qualities of your personality you are trying to avoid? Like being the nice guy. I was just talking to a client today. It's like, you're not a nice guy. You're only being nice to get what you want, to get what you need. And then if it's not happening, then you get passive aggressive and harsh on other people, because that nice guy's a facade. No one's just a nice guy. You can't trust a nice guy. They're not emotionally real. They're not authentic. So him and I were looking at, what is the actual shadow saying? It's like, fuck you. I've worked so hard. Why aren't you appreciating me? So being the nice person isn't actually real. We all have that darkness. So that's like the personality. Are you a people pleaser? Are you a nice person? Are you codependent? And you're actually not authentically using your voice, because you're trying to manipulate or walk on eggshells or get that person to like you, when in fact, you're using that to get attention and validation and fulfilled by them, instead of doing it for yourself. All right, here's some other prompts. What is an emotion that you're trying to avoid? What are you afraid of feeling? What kind of person would you think that would make you be if you fully felt something, right? My favorite is, what's your worst quality? What's your worst trait? And why is it so bad? And can you put a positive aspect on that trait? How has that negative trait helped you survive in your life? So that's one of my favorite ones. And then, why do people have these? Why do people have the shadow, right? The shadow self, the darkness. Because we're fucking human and we need to be enlightened. And part of us has this shadow because we have trauma, or we have unfelt feelings and we push them away, or we don't become our authentic self, we put on the mask, or we have a personality disorder that we had developed when we were young, and we had to put mask on top of mask on top of mask on top of mask on top of mask. So the way I love it is, you first integrate the shadows, maintain your shadows and darkness, say the darkness, and how does that power sit, right? Then you go, how can I turn it into develop purity of the heart, right? That's what people look at. So if I have impatience, I'm going to try to turn it with go with the flow. Like, I know impatience is there and I can hold it, and that gives me drive, but I can also then lean into going with the flow. So they're both there, the light and the dark, and you're just conscious of it. You're now conscious of your shadow. And there's steps to do it. So let me go through the actual steps so you can hear some of it. Okay, step process, 8-step process I take people through. Thought that pops in your head of what you're thinking, what you did wrong, that negative thought. Instead of going to guilt and shame, go to acknowledgement. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Why? I just had this thought. This person pisses me off, right? Let's go to that. Acknowledgement. You are a human being and you are not perfect. I am a human being and I have a dark and a light, right? I can have these feelings, these thoughts. Number 4, ask yourself if this is a pattern you need to break, something you need to heal, something you need to accept about, or something you need to accept about yourself. I always go to, I need to heal this. I need to break this pattern because the shadow is tied to my addiction. The shadow is tied to my trauma. It's a survival tactic. So I always try to go to, how do I heal? How do I heal this? What am I afraid of? So I look at that. What do I want? What am I feel like I'm not getting? What is the lack, right? Always lack. Set an intention to break the pattern. Helps heal yourself or find someone to help you. I always think, since I have my person that I've been working with for so many years, that helps me, finding someone to walk you through to help break the pattern. So when the thought comes, I journal about it. I put it out there. I write it down. I talk to my person, talk to Mark sometimes to process, to get it off and say, and these are my fears around it. And then how can I, at this point, remind myself it's okay to feel this way? And you can be sad, you can be frustrated, and that's okay. And now that you've resolved that feeling, one step forward, I take it to the healthy direction. I go to the asset. I try to say, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm having these feelings. I'm feeling like I'm not going to get what I want or need. I'm just using this as an example. And then I can go, how can I surrender this shadow part to know that I'm okay? Am I always okay, right? Does other people show up for me? Does it always work through? So I play it out to show that I am okay and I trust. And I even do some grounding techniques, take a deep breath. I bring myself back into the mindful present, and I try to connect to myself now and knowing that this will always fade and turn it to an asset as best I can with no judgment. So I just fucking love shadow work. And here's one thing I want to leave with. 9 signs that you've done shadow work. And I even look at these with my clients, especially 30 of them right now that are doing great. They are all showing almost all 9 of them. They laugh at themselves. They don't take themselves too seriously. They don't get offended or triggered. And if they do, they voice it. So if they get hit, they voice it. They don't keep it in, right? You can see and appreciate different aspects. So they're very open to say they have a feeling. And then I go, okay, can you look at it from this point of view or this person's point of view? And they are more open to other people's perspectives. You're aware of your negative traits, but you're not ashamed of them, right? That's a huge thing. And having them hold their negative traits, the shadow, and have no shame about it is really beautiful to see. And it's so fucking healing. I have to tell you, it's literally the most healing thing to see. They can be more assertive. They can hold their boundaries. They can have a hard line like that, but they're not rude. They practice holding boundaries and being assertive and saying what they need to say without being rude and attacking. They are not passive aggressive either, because a lot of people think holding a boundary, they get passive aggressive, but they don't say it passive aggressively. They confront adversary setbacks with courage and poise. A lot of my clients go through difficult stuff, letting go of people, letting go of situations, marriages, and they do it with such grace and courage, and they don't look at it as a setback. It's a step forward and letting go of the past. And you recognize, for me, I know the shadow work is I recognize myself in everyone. So whenever I work with someone, I'm like, I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like. I've been there. I got you. I got you. You're cool. And they're starting to do it too, where they're recognizing people in their life that are similar to them. And it's just so beautiful to witness this kind of work and healing, because it goes with the inner child work, the trauma work, the showing up differently, using your voice, being a full, whole, authentic human being, because that's what we are. We all have these parts. We all have had these survival tactics that protected us. And as adults, they just don't protect us anymore. And if you're an adult that hasn't done this work, if you're an adult that attacks people, comes at people, puts your judgment on people when you're doing absolutely nothing yourself, then that's where you need to do your shadow work. So if you are an adult that's stuck in your own bullshit, shadow work time, my friend. Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the topic and the episode. Send me your thoughts and what you want me to talk about at secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.